What is up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mag here, coming at you from the Gochok Sky Dome here in Seoul, South Korea, moments after the Dodgers win their opening day game against the San Diego Padres by a final score of 5-2. And really the story in this game, outside of just the experience, the atmosphere being a historic game, the first ever MLB regular season game here in Seoul, South Korea, was the Dodgers offense picking up where they left off in the NLDS. The Dodgers offense struggled early on, especially with runners in scoring position. No hits with runners on base for the first 7 innings of this game. The Dodgers were able to put up a 4 spot there in the 8th inning. They pulled away and they won by a final score of 5-2. But in each of the first 8 innings, the Dodgers had at least 1 base runner and they couldn't get a hit in 14 at-bats with runners on base in the first 7 innings. And a lot of Dodgers fans were dooms tweeting, and it was people talking about, oh, this is the NLDS, so we are so back because the Dodgers aren't coming through with runners in scoring position. But what happens there in the 8th inning? Teoscar Hernandez, he's able to wake this offense up with a single, and then you had walks by Max Muncy and James Outman, and then Kike Hernandez coming off the bench in a big spot. He's able to hit a sacrifice fly to tie the game, and then Gavin Lux, he comes to the plate, big spot for him, and he hits a ground ball that goes through the webbing of Jake Cronenworth. Now, Cronenworth was ruled an error there. It was a real error on Jake Cronenworth, but really that was an error on Wilson because it went right through his webbing. It ends up as a ball that goes into the outfield, and you were able to take the lead on that play, and the expected batting average there was 80. Not a hard hit ball, but still give Gavin Lux a lot of credit. He goes 0 for 5 tonight, but he's able to make something happen. Go up there to the plate, put the ball in play, and then he was able to impact the game with his speed. He was able to score when Mookie and Ohtani came up. They both got RBI singles to pad that lead, tack on some runs, and that's what made it 5-2. So give Gavin Lux a lot of credit. Going up there, putting the ball in play, making something happen. And the Dodgers, their bullpen, they were lights out. Ryan Brazier, Daniel Hudson, Joe Kelly, Evan Phillips, they put up zeros. And Tyler Glasnow, wasn't his best start. The command wasn't great. If you look at his numbers tonight, he ends up going 5 innings. He allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, had 3 punch outs, and 4 walks, 77 pitches total. He touched 98.3 miles per hour on his heater tonight. He got 11 swings and misses. So it wasn't the triple digits Tyler Glasnow, but still, I think he battled. I talked to him after the game, and I asked him about that curveball because that curveball usage, he just was down, and he told me, look, he didn't have the curveball tonight. He said it was downright bad, and give him credit, though. He went to that fastball and that slider combination, and it wasn't a terrible night, and I think I give him a lot of credit, too. The double play he induced, he got a strikeout there in his last inning of work, and yeah, he ended up giving up a run, but he limited the damage, and he ended up retiring the sign order in the 5th, and that was his last inning. So 4th got into some trouble. He had 4 walks. I mean, that was the most he's had an outing from 2023. He only did that twice in 21 starts last season. So yeah, the 2 walks they had in the 4th inning too. I mean, Lance Barksdale, some questionable calls there. Jerkson profile had a bunt hit up the 3rd baseline. That lowered the bases with nobody out there in the tie game. But yeah, I mean, give him credit. He battled tonight, and I give him all the credit in the world. Like I said, this Dodgers bullpen is not getting enough credit. They're going to be a strength for this team. Ryan Brazier, Daniel Hudson, Joe Kelly, and Evan Phillips, they closed out. They retired 12 of the final 14 batters of the game. So they were lights out. And really the story of this one is how the lineup feels longer. They're more dynamic with the speed of Gavin Lux, and also the big 3. I mean, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Shohei Ohtani. They combined to get on base 8 times in their 15 plate appearances. They had 4 hits, 3 walks, and a hit by a pitch. And it was just a weird game, too. I mean, there were some weird moments as far as Dodgers were able to get 3 walks, and pitch clock violations were a part of all of those walks. So it was a strange night. Definitely was a strange night. The air, the ball that went through Jake Cronenworth's webbing there. I mean, there were just very weird situations. How about the the umpire's interference on the Mookie steal early in the game with Campusano. So it was definitely strange. I mean, it was early in the season, right? But still, I think this Dodgers team, they found a way to win. And like I said, you had runners on in all 9 innings, and you reached base 17 times. So this Dodgers team, they proved tonight that, hey, you know what? Shohei Ohtani gets 2 hits. One of those hits, almost 113 miles per hour off the bat. He had a foul ball, was 119 miles per hour, nearly missed a home run. So Shohei Ohtani, he's a showman, and I think he wanted to hit a home run kind of like he did in his first at-bat during spring training. But still, good win for the Dodgers, good way to start the season. Lots of pressure on this team. Expectations are through the roof. But really the takeaways for me are just this stadium, this ballpark. I mean, every time Shohei Ohtani was introduced, every time Shohei Ohtani went to the plate, it was like it was Michael Jackson in baseball cleats. I mean, every single person got up, they were taking pictures, they were screaming Ohtani, and the cheerleading section, they have their own songs for Ohtani, for Betts, for Jason Hayward, for Max Muncy, and Ohtani, the level of support that he gets here in Korea, it almost feels like, and I've been told from a Korean insider, that it almost feels like Korea has adopted Ohtani as their own. That is how popular he is here with the fans. So, yeah, a really good win for the Dodgers team. I thought the experience, I think they've handled it well. Just talking to some of these players, you definitely get the sense that, yeah, they definitely have a lot riding on the season. They have high expectations. They know that their success or failure is ultimately going to be determined by whether or not they win the World Series, but they're enjoying the process. They understand you can't win the World Series in March. And just talking to some of these players too, look, they weren't just staying in their hotels or anything like that. They have experienced this city. They've visited the palaces. They've eaten Korean food. They've done some of the tourist attractions. And I think that my big takeaway is this team, they almost feel like a team that has a level of team chemistry and a team bonding that you usually see towards the summertime, right? After a couple months in, just because I think it's been accelerated by this trip alone. And yeah, it's just been a great experience. But hey, most important thing is 162-0 is still a possibility for this Dodgers team. You got to get that win. And as JP pointed out, hey, you know what? You heard I Love LA here in this stadium, which was a Padres home game technically, and give this Dodgers team credit. All the pressure in the world, bats were quiet early. They were able to find a way through some of the newer guys too. That's another big takeaway. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez, he gave the Dodgers life with that single. Gavin Lux missed all of last season. He puts the ball in play. He impacts the game with his speed. So that dynamic is back in the lineup. Kike Hernandez, he's able to get the sacrifice fly just to tie the game. So you saw an impact from either some of these new Dodgers, some of these Dodgers that are back, some of these Dodgers that are back from injury, and then Tyler Glasnow, like I said, for him to come out the way he did, hey, a lot of pressure on him. I mean, making his Dodgers debut, the hometown kid, lots of adrenaline, lots of emotions. And look, he's pitching earlier in the year. He's been built up, and he went out there, didn't have his curveball, still battled. And that's what you want to see. That separates the good pitchers from the great pitchers. The great pitchers can find a way to be effective when they don't have their best stuff. He didn't have his best stuff tonight, and it's not like he got rocked, right? Bunt, single to load the bases, things like that. Not a ton of hard contact. Just the command was a little off. Didn't have the feel for that curveball. But all in all, the Dodgers get the win, and they'll be back tomorrow with Yoshinobu Yamamoto versus Joe Musgrove on the mound. Let's see if the Dodgers can start the season 2-0 before their domestic opening day against the Cardinals at Dodger Stadium the following week. So that's going to do it here from the Gochok Sky Dome here in Seoul, South Korea. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Follow me on X and Instagram. I'm posting exclusive stuff on Instagram as well. So follow me on Instagram at DMAC_LA. Follow me on the X. Follow me on TikTok. Also follow Dodgers Nation, of course, but you probably already do. So definitely do that and hit that like button, hit that notification button, and honestly drop your takes. What are your biggest takeaways from the Dodgers opening day win against the San Diego Padres? Let us know down below. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.